Why do I have so many side projects? Your first thought might be a lack of self-control, but there's actually a plan behind it. So whenever I start on a new project, one of the things that I have to ask myself is, what is the purpose of this project? On the one hand, there is the purpose of, hey, I want to make an impact with this project. I want this project to do something good. I want it to have a positive impact on other people's lives. But there's also a career question. There's a question of where do I want to move forward into? How is this going to help me move forward? What is the ordering of these projects that makes the most sense for my goals? And so if you look at some of the stuff that I've done, it might seem like, oh, this is all kind of all over the place and whatever. And perhaps it is, but it's part of my thought process. So we go up here, you can see that I ended up, some of this is newer stuff, but we've got on my itch page where I've got a bunch of different mini games. I was making mini games in C compiled to WebAssembly. I was a part of game jams. I posted some of my old games when I was younger. And some of these ones specifically, it was to see if that could be content that could draw people in and be like, hey, here's old stuff that I did. This was grow myself, connect with other game developers. These were grow myself into a game developer who can work faster and get out a series of things, like show that I can finish things, finishing a bunch of small projects. Then I started doing Twitch. And I did Twitch while I was doing some of these, and that was because I wanted to work on speaking, I wanted to work on communications, I wanted to work on thinking on my feet, and I also wanted to work on being able to develop and to talk about games, so both game dev and game study in an environment where it's a bit more chaotic and hectic. And then also YouTube videos. I wanted to grow myself in content creation and in working on different videos and such, because that's a creative endeavor that I enjoy, that I want to be able to move more into, and I want to be able to grow in presentation skills, be able to grow in the ability to, presentation skills. Like, honestly, I would love to do more PR kind of work. I enjoy doing those sorts of things. I enjoy putting myself out there, and I guess maybe it's me liking attention, but I like being the face of things. And then I've also got other game projects still going on. Here, I'll just close this out so you can actually see this. So I've got another game project that I'm doing right now. And so why am I doing that? Well, I want to get another game project out there so that I can connect with some other game devs, that also give some other people who are kind of starting out just some feet on something, and hopefully they can get a portfolio piece out then pretty quickly to help themselves in their own careers. And then, like, why the heck did I get into TikTok? Like, that seems random. Why the heck? Well, it's because I wanted to, it was kind of an experiment, and then I found that actually there are it seems like there are a lot of people who are looking for good programming advice, and either the people, I think that there's sort of this, people who are good at entertainment are not the best programmers, and people who are the best programmers are not good at entertainment. And so if I can be a little bit more entertaining than the drier programmers and a little bit more knowledgeable than the entertaining programmers, then I've got a pretty good mix. So that's my guess. I don't know for sure. But my goal is to increase my outreach, increase my ability to connect with people, partly so that I can, again, like, do PR for whatever projects I'm a part of. And it might seem like, well, this is all kind of random, and what does this have to do with programming? Well, I will obviously want to grow in programming. I want to become a better programmer. I've got my personal programming projects, and I'm also doing the programming for this game here. But another thing is that I see that there are these kinds of needs, especially when it comes to indie companies, and I'm like, there's a hole that could be filled. And I joined an indie game studio. I was most interested in joining indie and focusing on smaller teams, and I'm in one, and I love it. I absolutely love it. And here's some of those things have led to me growing in and being able to do. And some things I can't talk about yet, but there are some things that I can. And the big thing is getting more into video updates. Now, the style of our corporate branding is very different from the style of my personal branding, but this is something where I was like, okay, if this is an area where I want to grow because I see that there is a need that could be filled here, I need to get better in my own area. Now, again, very different branding tone from Defiance to my own personal channel, and I'm very aware of that, and it's perfectly fine. But I knew that was an area that I wanted to be able to move into. I guess I'm just repeating myself now, but I was like, yeah, that's cool, that's exciting. And I knew that there would be a need there. I knew that it's not something that would be practical for my boss to maintain forever, because he's juggling so many different juggling plates. Trying to think of some of the terms that you would use there. But then beyond that, I was building out all of these stream tools because I'm like, well, okay, if I'm gonna do game dev and make videos, I need something to make this easy. I need something to make this quick. I need a process. If I don't have a process, I'm just gonna keel over and it's not gonna be any good. So my goal has been, how do I make things better, faster, and how do I grow in areas that help me move forward long-term in career and different pieces that I want to grow into? And so for me, that's just something that I always look at when it comes to different goals, when it comes to different tasks, is not just, hey, how do I finish this task, but how does it fit in a grander picture? And I will say that like on my end, as far as figuring out a lot of things, there's an aspect to which it's a crapshoot. But also, I found that those crapshoots have ended up to be really valuable in the long term. Because then what can happen is at work, it's like, hey, we need something. I've done that before. Hey, we have this hole. And especially when you see holes that can be filled, and then you start growing yourself into somebody who can fill those, that's a fantastic place to be. It's a really fantastic place to be. So that's why I do all sorts of random stuff. That's why I'm into YouTube. That's why I'm starting on TikTok. That's why I'm doing Twitch. It's all personal development with the goal of long-term what I can do at my job and how I can grow in my career. And I'm hoping that that's at my current job for a very long time. But I'm excited about the new things that I've been able to do and just always looking to grow in those areas. So that's all. Pretty simple talk today, but I don't know, feel free to let me know if you have any questions, or if there are any questions that you have about what it's like to be a game developer and how that all goes. For me, I experience it specifically indie, and I absolutely love that. I love the indie scene, and I love what we've got going. But yeah, if you have any questions about what that's like, feel free to let me know, and hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Take care.